Welcome back to the middle of a game between Dr. Batman and Epid. It's GP Ontario or Ottawa. Yeah, GP Ottawa round one. And as you can see, we have Epid on mono black mid-range versus Dr. Batman on an 80 card deck. You want to tell us why Dr. Batman might be running 80 cards?
Yeah, so Dr. Batman is playing Unrivaled Fireweaver, which benefits if you have 80 cards in your starting deck.
Yep.
Very good card. Here, Dr. Batman is using it to grab a couple of interesting choices. Burning Up being the kind of main deck piece that works with Fireweaver in that... Wait, can you not put it in chat?
Okay, fine. But
yeah,
I wish there was a way to like get characters to show certain cards while during the game. I guess this is also kind of annoying.
Yeah, but that's potentially outside assistance.
Okay.
So basically, Burning Up is kind of the key card in domain cell decks. 2-mana D5, instant speed sometimes if you're not going face. Very good in the old Room Brawler style decks, and yeah, this is kind of a new Room Brawler style deck. That it is playing Room Brawler, which...
in case you don't know what that card does, it's a 5-mana creature that on ETB exiles a card, exiles the instant sorcery with mana cost 2 or less from your yard, and then landfall you get to recast it for free, or copy of it for free.
Yeah, so Room Brawler is really good at before the shifting land changes because you could sack them at any time. You could give so you could play Room Brawler on turn 5 and then get a land drop afterwards, which is really powerful. I can't do that anymore. So much less powerful kind of lays your Room Brawler to being almost a 6-drop in a way.
I mean, unless you want to risk it.
Yeah, you can throw it down turn 5, but you won't get value on it until turn 6. But still really powerful card. Goes out of control really fast. There's a lot of cool interactions. Bounty of the Garden, another card that's been nerfed, but this time directly as a sorcery. Bounty and Room Brawler go out of control really fast. So yeah. Especially speaking of the
2, Epid's going to the Mindfalkers. Why did they not do that turn 1? Did they just top deck it?
I believe that was a top deck.
Okay, and Dr. Batman decides to spell pierce it.
Yeah, so I think that's a pretty heads-up play on their part. It does feel a bit kind of silly to be doing that because, well, you could have just discarded the spell pierce. But I mean, looking at Evan's hand, they have a Soulbreaker, which needs poison to turn on, and Mr. the Black Orchid, which also needs poison to turn on.
Dr. Batman is going to play Syncretic Master instead of Recall Forgotten Aeons on turn 3.
It's an interesting choice. I suppose if you are looking for lands, this is a bit better. Though it probably ends up being around the same as just playing Offie.
I guess it also gets a thing on the board in case your opponent starts dropping creatures.
Yeah. So I think you're mainly going to be playing defensively in this matchup because you probably go over the top of them with your Bounty Gardens and your Room Brawlers and whatnot.
Oh yeah, that's good because now you can block your opponent's stuff. Anyway, Syncretic Master, domain 3, so it's an Anticipate on ETB, or I guess strategic planning because it's spinning the cards.
So interestingly, Dr. Batman decides to grab Kumu Lang rather than a land there, which
actually, yeah, that's extremely interesting. Do they realize that they don't have a 4th land?
I would imagine that they grabbed a land there to have Offie into Portal Factor, but they hit another land. I suppose they don't actually have 2 blue sources, so
Bloodjade comes down.
And Kumu Lang is, pretty good in this matchup, I'd imagine. Even if it's Dr. Batman doesn't have any substantial graveyard at the moment to turn into a Flame Tongue Kabu.
Right now it's only dealing 1 damage, so it does kill Soulbreaker if it comes down, I guess. And flipping 3 lands off to Bloodjade, but that's one benefit Bloodjade. You don't have to take the cards that you don't want.
I still think you take 2 lands here.
Yeah, but you don't have to take 3 lands, so you can save 2 damage. Or, save 2 life.
Yeah, Bloodjade is definitely a bit scarier in this matchup than in a lot of matchups. With stuff like Bounty Gardens and Burning Up potentially dealing a lot of damage really fast, without much recourse being possible. This Wayfinder is actually a pretty good draw here.
Yeah.
Finds your 4th land, and then you can hold up Portal Fracture.
Dr. Batman kind of got bailed out there by not taking lands and top decking Elvish Wayfinder.
You could also, of course, just play Offie and hope to draw 2 lands.
That's more
really greedy.
That's more unreliable, right?
Yeah, definitely. Pretty greedy.
Like, what's the chances of whiffing with Elvish Wayfinder? Compared to RFE?
From what I remember on 60 cards, I think it's like, if you're on 24 lands, it's about 90 to hit, 90%.
Alright.
Whereas off is obviously much lower, because you only get 2 looks.
Dr. Batman's going on offense here. Is Epid going to trade? I don't think they're going to trade, right? Like, there's no reason to trade here. They are going to trade.
Yeah, kind of interesting. I mean, it works out.
For who?
I'm not sure if that's just. I think Dr. Batman prefers that trade. Clears up the board a little bit for Elvish Wayfinder to maybe get a profitable attack in.
Well,
maybe.
more importantly, it gives more fuel for Quay Mulan, because now it can kill or it can deal 3 damage.
Yeah, that's a good point as well. Oof.
Okay, so what were the chances you said?
I think it's like 10% whiff.
Unfortunate. That's like missing Rock Slide, right?
And we know that happens every time, so.
Yeah.
There's also a chance that Rock Slide has a flinch, which also happens every time, so. Ooh, that's really rough for Dr. Batman. Since the Mind Falters means that Epid can go Soul Weaver into the Mind Falters and clear this Wayfinder.
I think they might just want to play Mistress here and start drawing cards.
Well, they can't, because Batman isn't poisoned.
Like, Mind Falters into Mistress?
Then you're wasting mana, and that feels bad.
What if you just go Soul Weaver into Mind Falters and kill Elvish Wayfinder?
Yeah, that was saying that Mind Falter is such a good draw, since it does open that line. And that really establishes how big of a deal that missed land was, because if Dr. Batman did find a land, then Soul Weaver would be getting Polar Fractured here. And then they get an attacking with Elvish Wayfinder, which probably hits another land.
Yeah, and then Polar Fracture makes Skies, which means Soulbreaker is bad. Yeah,
and then then they're hitting land, so then RP works much better. And
wait, they're not going to kill this Wayfinder?
Oh, maybe this is a Soulbreaker?
But
does Dr. Batman have Sinkhole in their deck? This might be playing around Cosmic Sinkhole, actually.
They have Cosmic Sinkhole?
In their deck, yes.
Huh. Okay, yeah, that's actually pretty smart.
But at the same time, Dr. Batman would have to Sinkhole the Soul Weaver to prevent the trigger.
Right, but like if they Sinkhole the Mind Falters, then they won't be poisoned. So that kind of turns off a lot of Epid's cards.
Yeah, maybe Epid is just valuing the poison a lot here. And maybe this is just Soulbreaker here.
Yeah.
It does feel maybe a bit weird too. I feel like playing Soul Weaver plus Mind Falters probably ends up being better there, though. And maybe it is just really bad to get Sinkholed on the Soul Weaver, or I guess on the Mind Falters.
Well, I mean, surely Dr. Batman is grabbing a land off this Syncratic Master, right? Like, they're not going to make the same mistake twice.
I'd imagine so. Like, Syncratic Master does seem to get them out of this mess a little bit. Does block the Soulbreaker. Or at least presents blocking Soulbreaker as an option, so Epid will need to strike from Shadows if they want to put more pressure on it to Dr. Batman. And Dr. Batman definitely does have the tools to stabilize in this game.
Do they have board wipes?
Well, they don't have a board wipe, but Kumo Lang will be able to clear the Soul Weaver. And then Bounty of the Gardens is pretty hard for Mono Black to get through, especially if Epid is using the Strike with Shadows, which I think is the only one in the deck at the moment, on the Syncretic Master.
Also, I like how Dr. Batman is representing Cosmic Sinkhole, so it forces Epid to keep playing around it.
Yeah, I think I'm calling more of a happy coincidence than anything, but it's definitely nice if Epid was playing around the Sinkhole with the Soul Weaver.
Anyways, now you just like play Soul Weaver and then drop Emissary and then kill the Syncratic Master, right? Or wait,
yeah,
never mind, that doesn't work out.
If you are playing on Sinkhole, maybe you just go Mistress plus Emissary, or Mistress plus Strike, maybe.
I think you attack the Soulbreaker first, right?
Well, I mean, do you want this trade?
I have to imagine you. That's a good question.
Because I mean, Soulbreaker does kill in 3 turns.
Yeah, but how are you gonna get through Syncratic Master?
Well, Strike from Shadows it.
Right. So
doesn't
I guess
look like an assassin, a ninja, or a rogue to me.
Wait, so does that mean we're gonna get a poison win?
I mean, probably not, considering what Dr. Batman has in hand.
But can we hope for one?
I mean, definitely could. Looks like Epid is going for Soul Weaver here, which is probably the more accurate play. Because even if Dr. Batman does have Sinkhole, it will need an answer to the Soul Weaver. And if Epid's really playing heads up, they can exile the Syncretic Master, which will prevent Kumo Lang from killing the Soul Weaver.
Like, what modes do you choose? -1/-1 exile?
Well, it depends what you're playing here, right? Because, like, wait.
You're playing around Cosmic Sinkhole, I guess. See, Epid's committed a bit. They want to play around Cosmic Sinkhole so badly that they're willing to pass with 2 mana up.
I mean, this does actually hold up Grave Hate, which is kind of funny.
Right, Strike from Shadows is instant speed.
So, like, if Dr. Batman does... And Kumo Lang is a reflexive trigger. So they will be able to kill Soulbreaker even if the Syncretic Master is exiled.
Right. Do you have another 3-cost in Yard to exile with Prix?
No.
Okay, so yeah, there we go. You strike from the shadows in response to Queen Mulan's ETB, and now they can't kill Soul Weaver.
But they can just exile something small and kill the Soul Breaker.
That's fine. You weren't winning through poison anyways.
And
you also get to draw,
well,
or you can just trade. I mean, wait, never mind. That's actually not good.
I mean, going attack is bold here.
I think Batman just wants to trade stuff off.
Yeah, but you also want to block it, right?
You have enough blockers. I think you care more about your opponent's life total than you care about your own, because if you get your opponent low enough, you can just burning up them out of the game.
Well, yeah, but they don't have any burning ups at the moment.
You might draw them. Like, you have RFE. You might draw into them.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, I guess Dr. Batman is feeling pretty safe here in general, but this feels like it's opening up a lot of potential problems if whatever Dr. Batman plays here doesn't go well.
And Dr. Batman can still hold up Portal Fracture.
Well, I mean, if they play Kumulong, they can't.
You need to play that. You can just play Bounty for 5. You're pretty happy with a 2-mana 5/5, right?
Yeah, but I mean, I guess it works out if you just go Bounty, hold up Fracture.
Yeah.
But then, like, is Epid going to be playing into... Like, Epid's been playing around Counter Magic for a while now. So if they just pass and go untap, strike from shadows, your Bounty token, are you actually winning that? I mean, you can't Portal Fracture it.
Okay, but then they just, like, did nothing for their entire turn.
Well, I mean, if they had a land, then they were also playing Mistress, and that's another thing you have to deal with. Now you're taking 6, plus... And then Soul Weaver's getting 2 triggers.
Okay, it looks like Dr. Batman is going to play Queen Mulan.
So we'll see if Epid... So I think the Soul Weaver... The play here is Kumulong resolves, you strike from shadows at exile the master, and then put a -1/-1 counter on the master.
Yeah, that's
in play.
That's a really good play.
And then untap and put another -1/-1 count on it.
So Epid playing the strike from shadows and seeing it not getting Cosmic Sinkhole probably implies to them that Dr. Batman doesn't have a Cosmic Sinkhole, which means that they've been playing around a Ghost for the entire game.
Yeah, that is nice to know that they don't have a sinkhole.
Unless Dr. Batman's 9,000 IQ and decides to not Cosmic Sinkhole it for some reason.
And it is like, I mean, even just getting the 2 Soul Weaver triggers are pretty valuable, because otherwise Soul Weaver dies. So
okay, Epid's going for it finally.
Let's see if it's what we expect.
Okay, that's good. Are we gonna get 3 out of 3? Epid's still choosing their second mode for Soul Weaver. Like, I guess, like, you don't have to put a -1/-1 counter on it, right?
Yeah.
Draw?
Yeah, decides to go for the draw.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense. You want some more cards.
Yeah, I suppose it's fair just because you can clear up the Syncretic Master with the 2 spells you have in hand.
Wait, can Queen like exile itself?
Oh. Yeah, it can. Hold on. That's wild. Yeah, I guess this doesn't work super well, huh?
I mean, it's fine. You got rid of a Queen Mulan from your opponent's yard. I mean, you killed a Queen Mulan. That's like not nothing. It's a 4/3. Like, that thing does trade with most of your creatures. But yeah, Auric Soul Weaver is about to die. Let's see if Dr. Batman sees the interaction. Okay, I think they might be calling a judge.
So the draw off the Soul Weaver was another Soul Weaver, which is a really good draw.
Yeah.
It's
okay, they're DMing the judge.
Yeah, it's good to make sure that you're understanding what the interaction is. Presumably the Soul Weaver is going to die. And Epid's follow-up is presumably just playing another Soul Weaver and a Mistress or Emissary.
I think you play Emissary to exile the Syncretic Master. Wait, no, it's not in the yard.
Well,
you play Emissary to exile Bounty in case your opponent has something to flash it back with.
Yeah, let's get a Rune Brawler plus
Are they playing Cane Dancers? They're not playing Cane Dancers. Huh. I guess they don't have enough spells for Cane Dancer. Or no, do they have enough spells for Cane Dancer in their deck?
What I mean, Reveal Eternities isn't a great target. You have Portal Fracture, Bounty. So you only have 12, which normally that's enough on 60 cards, but on 80 cards it's probably not.
Right.
And I know you want to play like Ignition Point in the sideboard or Fire Weaver to grab. That seems a bit low value.
I mean, wait, but you're playing that. Aren't you playing Fleeting Resonance? What, you're not?
No.
I mean, if you're playing Fleeting Resonance, it's probably decent with Cane Dancer.
I mean, that's the thing. You're not getting Agonize, so it's kind of awkward in the same way that like Reveal Eternities is not exactly the best Cane Dancer target.
Yeah. So you should be playing...
Fleeting Resonance is a decent shout for a potential sideboard option and for a potential Fire Weaver option in this deck.
I mean, didn't Rune Brawler used to play Mirror Reality? I mean, it's kind of similar to that. that it's a spell that copies your next instant or sorcery and you can do it again.
Yeah, normally there was some debate about whether that was actually good in the deck or not.
Also, there was Panya, I guess, which was like the spell you actually wanted to copy with Mirror Reality.
Yeah, Panya was a big reason why that deck was playing Mirror Reality, because Panya makes it really easy to trigger it, whereas Dr. Batman's deck does not play Panya. So looks like they are discussing how Cooler works. Dr. Batman is talking with the judge, so he'll be able to get resolved.
You know what's funny? This is a judge call that doesn't actually involve anyone breaking the rules, and it's still taking super long.
Yeah, I mean, that's better than the judge call where people got game rule violations and whatnot. My understanding is that Cooler will you exile it on resolution, and then exiling causes a trigger effect, which will actually deal the damage.
Yeah, that's my understanding too.
We're still on the exiling card from graveyard part, which hasn't happened yet, so that should allow Dr. Batman to exile the Cooler itself, interestingly enough.
You know, I just saw something. Why don't we play Kumalan in sack decks so that you can sack it in response to ETB and then exile itself to do a Flame Tongue Copy impression, guaranteed.
Because you're paying 4 mana to deal 4 damage to a creature planeswalker.
Yeah, that's a Flame Tongue Copy, right?
I think part of the important part of the Flame Tongue Copy was that it survived the encounter.
You still play. Wait. Oh. Right.
A couple of stats. Sacrificing it. Just a couple. But it does kind of. This is a pretty bizarre scenario for Cooler to get an extra value out of, because not only does the opponent have graveyard hate, but the graveyard hate involves killing Cooler, which is interesting.
Is there a way for Epid to play so that Cooler doesn't end up killing Soul Weaver?
I don't believe so, because you need. Well, I mean, you can kill the Syncretic. Oh no, I guess killing Syncretic Master doesn't work either.
You can kill Soulbreaker. You can
kill your own Soulbreaker. Yes.
Yeah.
Or if you're just preventing Cooler from killing Soul Weaver, you can just kill Soul Weaver yourself. And then Dr. Batman will never be able to kill Soul Weaver. He'll always be dead.
Actually, killing Soulbreaker isn't insane, right? Because you kill Soulbreaker, now Cooler has no targets that I can kill. Like Soulbreaker was going to die anyways from Prix Mulan, right? Exiling a 1-drop.
Well, but then they have a Cooler in play. Yeah,
but you have a Soul Weaver in play, and then next time you drop your other Soul Weaver, and they trigger each other, and then you drop your famous or after that, and now you're getting how many Soul Weaver triggers is that? You're getting double Soul Weaver triggers. You can probably just kill Prix Mulan from Soul Weaver triggers.
Yeah, I guess you play the second Soul Weaver, and that puts 1 count on the Cooler, and then play your MSA, and that puts 2 more.
Yeah, and you just exile their entire graveyard while you're doing that. And I guess also draw some cards, because why not? Maybe drain them? I don't know. All right, Dr. Batman's back. Let's see if the play plan goes through.
So, presuming this goes through as we expect and Soul Weaver dies here, do you think anyone has a particular advantage here?
I think the guy with Soul Weaver in play probably has the advantage. Or the guy that's going to have another Soul Weaver in play.
Even against Bounty Offie in hand?
Well, Bounty is not instant 3 anymore, so you can't surprise people with it anymore.
That's true, but Soul Weaver is not that good at killing a 5/5. It's very possible that Bounty's even a 6/6 when it comes down.
It's not good at killing a 5/5, but it's good at making the 5/5 into a 4/4, which trades with Profane Emissary.
Yeah, but at the same time, how aggressive can you actually be here? Since you are at 12 and that balance at 19.
You're going to gain a bunch of life off your guys.
Yeah, I guess the Profane Emissary will potentially gain you life.
Okay, good. Dr. Batman got the right interaction.
Nice part of reflexive triggers is that lets you choose your targets afterwards.
I mean, even if it wasn't a reflective trigger, you could still do that same interaction, because you choose Auric Soul Weaver and then Prix Mulan dies and you exile itself.
Oh yeah, I suppose that's true.
I guess the only thing that would change it is if Prix Mulan targeted a card in your yard to exile.
Yeah, that'd be particularly bad.
Anyways, let's see if Epid goes for a play that we thought they would go for. Okay, a land off the top, which is actually pretty good, because now Profane Emissary is active right away.
Yeah, I don't think they can actually make the play that we're talking about, because the Soul Weaver did die, so you can't actually kill the Syncretic Master.
You don't have to. Yeah. You just play your 4/4 and brick wall your opponent's 2/1. Wait, we might get a poison kill this game.
The nice thing about Dr. Batman's deck is they do have a lot of answers to 4/4s, with, again, Burning Up being a pretty big burn spell.
Yeah.
Which is pretty atypical for a lot of decks in the format. In addition, of course, Fire Reaver can fetch Seer Flash, which is another nice answer to big bodies.
Well, you need to draw
So
Fire
they
Weaver
do-
first.
Definitely new, but they do have an offer to potentially draw a lot of cards here. So they will be seeing 3 more cards during the next turn.
Or Reek Soul Weaver comes down. Actually, Epid might play
Epid-
Mistress first because that thing draws cards.
Yeah, definitely not unreasonable to play Mistress. Even though Profane Emissary is already online, so.
Well, nope, you're going to play Profane Emissary first. Are you still going to draw off the Reek Soul Weaver?
God, it feels really risky to be doing so. I mean, Dr. Batman is only on 3 land types, so Bunny Up isn't going to kill.
No, that doesn't. Well, yeah, Epid's also confused.
Yeah, you can only use one of the counters, one of the modes, per time on Soul Weaver.
Yeah, it's not choose. You can't choose the same mode twice, which is actually something to note because that's how I read the card at first.
Yeah.
Which would actually make it absolutely insane.
It would be pretty gone bonkers if you could turn into we could deal like more damage than Villainy sometimes. Okay. MSA is 2 black mana symbols. I think Epid might need to delete their downloaded images.
When was the last time Epid played?
Doesn't seem like this. It seems like it's been a while. Let's just put that way. But maybe more relevantly, they probably haven't deleted their downloaded images.
Yeah.
So step a lot of people miss.
Well, I guess there's going to be more delays while we wait for those players to sort out their files or downloads, images, whatever.
Yeah. Possibly just play on. I mean, it's not that big of a deal.
Wait, what, bro? Did I miss a trigger because of our images? I don't think they did. Right? They haven't played Profane Emissary with Ulrich Soulweaver out before.
This trigger right here off the MSA.
Like College Judge. Oh. By the way, guys, so in case you're watching, currently it's 40 minutes into the game. It's still game 1, and I don't think the game's ending anytime soon because, like, the game's still pretty even.
To be fair, the game did start like 10 minutes or so.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Lobby.
But still, we're 30 minutes to game 1, and the game isn't anywhere close to resolving. This isn't even a control mirror.
I don't know if it's that far away from ending. I mean,
what, we need like Dr. Batman to draw 2 Burning Ups?
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this game ends in 3 turns.
But what's the line to end the game in 3 turns?
I mean, Epid's at 12. Like,
but they have a Rick Soulweaver out. Like, how's Dr. Batman ever supposed to build a board?
We were talking about how Bounty is not very easily killed by Soulweaver.
Okay, but it becomes a 4/4, which gets blocked by Profane Emissary, which is lifelink.
But I'm just thinking Dr. Batman untaps, goes off the Bounty, stonewalls any kind of attack, then turn passes back, and then they slam a Broom Ball and a fetch land and make 2 more bounties, and then Epid concedes. That's kind of my thinking. Or alternatively, Dr. Batman hits 3 lands and plays a bounty, and then Epid draws a Soulbreaker, and then Dr. Batman's dead. So
are they just dead if that happens?
It'd be pretty darn close. Yeah. At the very least, they're going to die the turn after that. So I think just with how like powerful the kind of cards are, where like Epid does just straight up have 10 damage on board with a Soulweaver.
Right.
And Dr. Batman does have a lot of really powerful cards in the deck, and the mana to use them at this point. So I think it would take that many turns to turn the game. Of course, Dr. Batman could also hit 3 removal spells, and the board is cleared, and that takes 5 more turns. But
is Epid in DMs with the judge? Because no, they're typing, right? How long does it take to call a judge?
So I guess we can talk about some other things. So what do you think about these new fancy cards in the format, like Warwick Soulweaver? I'll say that Soulweaver is really cool, that all the modes are really clear about what they're doing when you draw arrows with them. Because it's like, so of course, target player is always going to target your opponent, practically.
Yeah.
So if you target your opponent's face, you know what's happening. And then if you target a creature, there's only 1 mode that targets creatures. And if you target yourself, there's only 1 mode that reads will target itself. And then graveyard, there's only 1 mode that targets graveyards.
Why are there 3 modes that target and 1 mode that doesn't target?
Well, I mean, how would you phrase the 3rd mode to target? Target player draws a card and loses 3 life. That seems
target player loses 3. Target player draws a card and you lose 3 life.
Is that actually? I feel like no card's worded like that.
There probably is, right? Like there's removal spells that kill something and make you lose life, so you can just target your own.
But like I'm thinking like Silent Blood is always the target loses the life.
Well, too bad. Now it's. I mean, wasn't there crushing disappointment, which makes both players lose life?
I mean, I can search on Scryfall, I guess. Abzan Charm is you. You draw 3 cards. I guess I'm looking for targets here. 2. Target player mills 2 draws 2 lose 2. Draw 2 lose 2. Yeah, I think I don't think there's anything that's target player draws and you lose.
Why can't there be though? Right?
I mean, it's pretty awful. Like, why?
Commander.
Oh God, don't get me started. I guess
What,
we'll make this.
You can like play mono black group hug by playing this thing and then play a bunch of black spells to make your friends draw a bunch of cards. And you can gain the life back because you're playing things that trigger when your opponent draws cards to make you gain life.
Good old mono black group hug is my favorite commander deck.
You might bet. Is that bit? Okay, I guess they're resetting their caricatures. All right then.
So we have some other cool new cards in this game. We have Elvish Wayfinder, which was really bad this game because it failed at its one duty in life.
10%, right? 10%.
Yeah, 10%. Also known as 100% in Pokemon. Syncretic Master has been pretty good.
Yeah, assuming Dr. Batman actually took the card that they needed off of it instead of trying to... I still don't know why they didn't take the land.
I guess maybe it was a bit awkward, but yeah, they did have to top deck the Wayfinder, which I mean, they missed as well. But so it looks like Epid just missed the Soul Weaver trigger, not realizing that MSA was double black. Bit unfortunate on their side, but probably not that big of a deal. I'm not sure what mode they would have chosen. Probably the Drain Life, I imagine.
Hey, maybe 1 damage ends up mattering against Dr. Batman's burn.
That'd be possible.
I mean, if Epid was really on the edge, they could have drawn a card. All right, are they going to pass their turn now? Okay, good. The game can finally continue.
So now, this is definitely a big turn for Dr. Batman. What they're going to draw on the draw step, and off this off E is... Okay, so another bounty. Do you just play double bounty here? Veteran Island? Double bounty?
No, you play RFE because you want to draw more cards.
I mean, I also want some 5/5s, so...
Yeah, but I also want to draw cards. Like, I want to find more land so I can actually do stuff.
I mean, you could also offer next turn. I suppose you could also bounty next turn, but...
Also, the problem with playing all your bounties out is that they all get exiled before you can grab them with Rune Brawler.
I mean, are you really worried about all your bounties getting exiled?
Look at Auric Soulweaver. Like, how many triggers is the thing going to get?
But you need 3 you need 3 triggers on Soulweaver to kill all the bounties. That's triggers that's not draining you. I mean, you don't even have a Rune Brawler yet. And you don't know that you don't have a land for the Rune Brawler either.
You also don't have domain for burning up. Okay, sorcery speed bounty, womp womp. Imagine if bounty was still instant speed, so you can flash it in as a blocker against these guys.
I don't need to imagine that. I've lived that. It's not very fun.
Hey, it was great fun for the Rune Brawler player. Or actually, it wasn't Rune Brawler that was playing it, right? It was like control, like King Dasher control or something.
Yeah, I mean, Rune Brawler could do it too. A bit less, mattered a bit less because Rune Brawler was often pretty quickly took the aggressive path. Oh, that's some weird sequencing. Deciding to go bounty into offie as opposed to offie into bounty.
And punished, because now they just missed a +1/+1 on the bounty token.
Yeah, we'll see if that ends up mattering.
I think it will, because Auric Soulweaver is going to shrink it down to a 4/4, and then it dies Profane Emissary.
Yeah, but at the same time, Auric Soulweaver does also want to kill the Syncretic Master, so...
I think you're fine just shrinking it down to a size where all your creatures can chump it, or not chump it, but like eat it up.
Well, it depends on what Epid draws here, though.
You can just what can you get off Profane Emissary?
Oh, that's a good point. I think it's just Kajra main deck, so
that's really good, right? Because that's 2 Auric triggers.
Yeah, I guess Kajra is just like kind of good. You are going down to 9, but Profane Emissary will bump you back up a little bit. So
yeah, and you can attack with Emissary because they're all 3/3s.
You'll get 3 triggers. So, well, I mean, you have to choose between killing the master and shrink the plant to 4/4.
I'd rather shrink the plant.
Or 3/3 rather. But then you just get a double block in the MSA, right?
I mean, now you trade. Like, you clear the board.
Yeah, but like then it's the same as if the plant was a 4/4 and you attack with MSA because the board is also cleared because you killed the master.
Right.
So Epid's doing on tutoring.
They're not tutoring. Do they have 2 Mind Falters in the yard? They have 2 Mind Falters in the yard.
I imagine they're coalescing Mind Falters here.
Yeah, I mean, it even plays around Cosmic Sinkhole. It doesn't play around Spell Pierce, but wait, never mind. Dr. Batman doesn't have... Yeah, it doesn't have blue.
Blue source. I think I would have preferred fetching Kaichao, because just coercing Mind Falters is definitely a bit on the slow side, because that means that you are getting a MSA attack in, or trading with the plant. And I mean, you are shrinking Batman's hand, which is nice, because
You might get the poison kill.
Yeah. Dodger Batman does definitely appreciate having more cards in hand, even if you're hitting a land here, that's pretty nice. Keeping them off e-colorless and Runeballer triggers and whatnot.
Nope, they're doing the kill is Syncratic Master. And I guess the Mind Fortress is going to be blocking the plant.
The Mind Fortress is also really big. I mean, 4/7 is huge.
Thank you for other. I don't think you get another trigger from this because you only care about the front side, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just one.
It's an alternative cost. Well, good thing Dr. Batman caught it before we had to call Judge, because I do not want to sit through more Judge calls. It's almost an hour and this is still game 1.
So Batman has this unrivaled Fire Weaver. Oh, looks like we might get a Judge call. How exciting. So this Fire Weaver does give them burning up access. The Shifting Grove will give them the 4th domain type, so we'll be able to kill the MSA if they want, or the Soul Weaver.
That feels so low value. Is there any value pieces that they can grab with Fire Weaver?
Any value pieces?
Yeah.
I mean, you can Conquer Psyche it, I guess.
Conquer Psyche is pretty good here, right? Because you play this, you play Conquer Psyche, and the next turn you...
I mean, yeah, you can go like Fire Weaver, Conquer Psyche, one that grabs Seer Flesh, I guess is the line.
And you can just kind of wipe their board, sort of.
Yeah, then you get a burning up with the other one.
Do you have enough red sources?
You only need 2 for that. Oh no, you need 3. Yeah, you have the 3 red sources.
Okay, so you can sack Shifting Grove for an off-color duel.
How
long is Epid going
seems
to
like... I suppose you could also fetch Sheldrain's Rage if you really want to.
You don't want to.
I mean, close the Soulbreak and the Soul Weaver, which is something.
Still leaves Profane Emissary.
Yeah, that's true. But Profane Emissary is not that scary.
Really?
Not exactly choosing anything nasty with no legendaries on board.
Wait, does Dr. Batman run Imperial Seed into their board?
They do not.
Okay. How many Purples does Epid run?
Just the one.
Okay, Imperial Seed would have been good here.
I mean, you could also just kill the Profane Emissary.
Yeah, but what about future Profane Emissaries?
Yeah, you deal with them when they come up. No stats now is probably better than smaller stats later and leaving the 2/2. It does feel like Dr. Band will have the tools to deal with Epid's board, though, with this Fire Weaver and Bounty and whatnot, and then should be able to resolve the RFE afterwards.
Yeah, I agree.
With the Fire Weaver. Oh, there's so many similar names. You have Soulbreaker, you have Soul Weaver, then you have Fire Weaver.
Okay, we finally got the game going on, and Dr. Batman discards Pearl Fracture as we expect.
Definitely not great when your opponent's on 7 lands and you're tapping out for all future turns.
Oh yeah, Poison. So if Soulbreaker manages to connect...
I don't know, I feel like that's not happening.
Hey, if you attack with Profane Emissary and Soulbreaker, like, you have to block one of them, right?
I mean, I guess Epid is going for attack here, but...
What?
Like, that's not a very good attack.
Epid, are you sure about this?
I mean, it does... Maybe they're blocking another 1-mana spell.
Well, the buff did not work.
But yeah, even if you have another 1-mana spell, Dr. Batman's like, yeah, great. Sounds good to me. You don't exile my Alfie, sounds good. Like, maybe there's a bit more of a case if you attack with Soulbreaker 2.
Yeah, like, you could have gotten really close to the poison kill, but you didn't.
Yeah, if you attack with Soulbreaker 2, then...
That's 2 more Mind Falters before your opponent loses the game.
Yeah, one of those is even in graveyard, so...
That was such a big missed opportunity. We could have gotten a poison kill. Come on, Epid, why could you not give us our poison kill?
I mean, I don't think you would have necessarily gotten there, but... I mean, I guess there's only one more of the Mind Falters, but...
Yeah, like...
What about man also would have the choice to just block the Soulbreaker?
But then...
As opposed to the emissary?
Yeah, but then the emissary
if they were concerned about it?
Like, you manage to connect with the emissary. That's still pretty nice.
Yeah, if you give up 3-1, which Dr. Batman will have to deal with in some fashion. So we're having some discussions on what Dr. Batman should do here. Looks like they did not crack this Shifting Grove, which I guess is fair, because obviously not going to matter enough for burning up if there's no X4s in play. You were liking Conquer Psyche or Fire Weaver.
Yeah, but I think for now, you just Elvish Wayfinder plus Bounty and do stuff. Like, that gets you enough mana for RFE.
I would definitely prefer to clear the Soul Weaver, because Soul Weaver can hit the RFE.
Right, but then that means you need to use your Fire Weaver.
Yeah. So whether that means going fire with a Conquer Psyche Seal Flash or just fire with a Seal Flash, then drop the Wayfinder.
I think you do go for a Conquer Psyche because, like, you need value here, right? Because you're kind of running out.
Yeah, but at the same time, getting the 7th land for Arthi is also value. So we'll actually be logged out due to inactivity.
They're taking way too long to make decisions.
Um,
Which, I mean, I'm saying this as I'm the guy who played HSAC, so ignore what I said, but still.
and also, I don't think anything Dr. Batman can grab off Fireweaver really does that well against 4/7s, which is the primary threat base of Epid at the moment.
Okay, Dr. Batman is just going for the boring option of Sear Flesh.
Yeah, because other options are Burning Up, Solar Flare, Sheldrains, Flames Approach, which don't seem like they deal with 4/7s all that well.
Did Dr. Batman play a land this turn?
They did not.
They could have Eldritch Wayfinder for a land and then played Bounty, right?
Yeah, I think that would
Assuming the colors
probably
work
would have
out.
ended.
Do the colors
does
work out?
give them. This does make them a bit safer if like Epid draws another Soulbreaker or something. Maybe if they think Epid has a Soulbreaker in hand, this is like very safe.
Actually, if they played Eldritch Wayfinder, they could have guaranteed an RFE this turn or the turn after this turn.
Yeah, I think it probably would have been better, but there's definitely some combination cards here that.
Oh wait, never mind. The mind. Yeah, you should have just dumped your hand.
Oh yeah, that's true. Though, yeah, that's probably just fair. Because you're not necessarily winning this. And if you get like a Portal Fracture or something off the top, you're really sad. Epid does have the follow-up of the Mistress, which does put them having card advantage if Dr. Batman does not hit the seventh land for the Arthi. But they will need to hit some amount of cards to break through here, because 4/7s against 5/5 and 5/6 is not a very good way to break through. Same in the reverse as well.
Well,
maybe more drastic in the reverse.
I think how you break through is you get Burning Up, you get Domain, and then you stick it onto a Rune Brawler and Burning Up them a bunch in the face.
You break through by not breaking through and just killing them instead.
Wait, they're sacking Shifting Grove now, or Swamp Forest. Are they hoping to draw Rune Brawler?
I mean, if they were hoping to draw Rune Brawler, but they probably don't.
Never mind, they drew Burning Up. That's not horrible.
Yeah, let's clear the Mistress, which puts us back at parity. Maybe put Dr. Batman a bit ahead with the Arthi and Yard.
Well, you still need to top deck a land to play it.
Yeah, but on the other hand, Epid needs to top deck specifically good cards. Lands aren't going to do much here.
So we just get to enjoy a board stall as we watch both players try to top deck cards that they need.
Yeah, Dr. Batman probably is probably just more alive in general, again with the Arthi and Graveyard, even if the counter spells aren't great here.
Like, if Epid actually swung with Soulbreaker that one turn. Oh, okay. Well,
that's an infectious ego.
Yeah, I think Dr. Batman's in trouble if they don't draw a land. Even if they do draw a land, I still think they're in trouble.
I think they're alright if they draw a land and they sack up the Fireweaver. Epid still doesn't really have reasonable attacks. Then if they do draw a land, then Arthi comes in, saves the day. But if they whiff another turn, then it gets a little bit dicier. Because I think Epid has good attacks with the Ego as well. At least not bad attacks. Just because Ego does force the land sack. So...
do you agree with sacking Fireweaver here?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like, Arthi is how you're winning this game. And sacking a land will just put you farther away from Arthi.
You know what else would have been funny? If, like, Epid actually connected with Soulbreaker that one turn, Ego would have led to maybe a poison win. Or no, Ego would be forcing Dr. Batman to hand Epid stuff.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, maybe Ego is threatening that already, because Mind Pulters is castable and coalesceable.
Yeah,
and that will be 2 poison counters. So it is at least very much a threat.
Yeah, it's recall Forgotten Aeons. Well, Infectious Ego can't really attack, right? Because the plants are kind of recalling it.
I mean, yeah, at this point, it's probably not worth it. If Dr. Batman didn't hit the land for the Arthi, it's probably worthwhile attacking, just for the Stone Rain. Ooh. Now that's a hell of a draw.
Well, both players have gotten more cards now.
This Blood-Rated Prophet does seem like the better draw, just because Epid does have a lot of discard left in the deck. I think they still have all the Valdez's and pay-ups.
Right.
And Mindfault is obviously fantastic here as well.
Personally, I'm hoping that Epid attacks with Infectious Ego and Dr. Batman just takes a poison, and then we see 20 million's fine. Like it's an extra threat.
Yeah, definitely want to see Valdez instead of pay-up, but will have wanted to once they see Dr. Batman's hand. because Rune Brawler does have the potential to take over this game if Dr. Batman does hit a land, especially fetch land, that will start gutting down a lot of Epid stats and then eventually gun down the face with successive land draws.
Yeah. But they still need to get their 5th off-color land, right? They still need to get their 5th land type.
Yeah, but I think they'd spend at least a couple times bolting down the Ego and the Soulbreak and the Prophet just to be a little bit safer. Because Epid does have a lot of power on board. I mean, that's 19 power.
Epid's probably also going to get treasure. Not that it really matters, but hey.
Yeah, well, certainly.
Get a treasure.
Can't really imagine a world where you don't discard Sinkhole. So Epid is slowly getting a board state that can attack through this. Though at the same time, they do die in the counterattack, so maybe it doesn't actually attack through it. I suppose maybe they don't die on the counterattack because Ego does gain 4 and Midden does block. So
no attacks. Board stall.
Do we see a fetch land?
Nope. I mean, you can Cosmic for a bunch. That might do something. I think you just run out Rune Brawler here, right? Because like you have nothing else to spend your mana on. Might as well do that.
Yeah.
Dude.
And Rune Brawler being an X4 instead of an X5 here does make it a fair bit worse of blocker. Doesn't block the Mindfathers or the Bloodjay Prophet or the Ego. But maybe if it just doesn't have attacks here, honestly, it's kind of crazy.
Do you put Bounty or do you put Burning Up under the Rune Brawler?
I'd be inclined to say Burning Up. I think it does. I think it does kind of similar things to Bounty. I mean, if Ego attacks, you're
they agree.
Giving up lands, right?
Right.
So there's no chance of like an 8/8 Bounty being like getting through. It probably ends up being just similar in general, but I think Burning Up is you have a little bit more control over. Whereas like Bounty, maybe there's worlds where Soul Weaver comes down and starts doing stuff.
Ooh, Valdez with Menace.
I mean, that is another 4 power worth of threats. Like, Epid does have just a ton of power in play.
All right, so high or low, Epid? High. Like, what does that say about Epid?
Again, going for the uppercut. Suppose the gun punch.
Wait, Dr. Batman's not even going to try to Cosmic Sinkhole it. Come on, at least attempt to flail.
I suppose it doesn't matter because Midden is the only thing. Yeah, Epic can go cast Valdez, and actually, I guess it does matter. Because if Epid does want to attack, then they wouldn't have the mana to play Valdez and activate Midden.
Yeah, exactly.
Dr. Batman Sinkhole.
You should have like just played optimally. There was no reason not to Cosmic Sinkhole there.
And Epid is calculating attacks.
This is the exact sort of game state that I do not like to play through because I'm bad at math.
Decides not to attack. Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's good attacks here. Just Batman's board being slightly too big. Ooh. No, that's. I think it's probably good, right? I don't know if that's actually good.
It probably is good. It's probably really good, actually.
What? Presumably, you play Fireweaver, you conquer Psyche it, and grab the Flames Approach and Burning Up.
Is that it?
I mean, I guess Eldrain's Rage is also good here. Maybe.
Eldrain's Rage, I guess.
Like, just go Valdez and Bloodjade and Soulbreaker.
That feels low value, though. Is there something that, like, is there anything that gets lands with Unrivaled Fireweaver?
No. Well, everything that Dr. Batman has in board besides Conquer Psyche that's Fireweaver is Burn. So I think you are just going Fireweaver, Conquer Psyche, Flames Approach. I think that's the most reasonable thing. Then you grab Burning Up too for next gen.
Can you Psyche the Rune Brawler?
Huh? No, you Psyche the Fireweaver.
Yes, but can you Psyche the Rune Brawler?
Oh, you can, but you don't have any land drops. So if only you could Conquer Psyche RFE to draw for.
Yeah.
That'd be the dream. And I think this puts Dr. Batman ahead, because with Burning Up in Exile and the Flames Approach, that's 7 damage worth of burn, which does mean that Epid at 12 is not a safe fight total.
Wait, so do you just point everything at face?
Yeah, I guess you could even just point everything at face. Actually, that's actually 1 point off lethal. Yeah, I don't think that's what you want to be fetching here.
Do you have Conquer Psyche?
It does look like they have it in the sideboard.
Was there any downside to not fetching or fetching Conquer Psyche?
I don't think so. They have the 3 mana open for it. And Midden does have Menace, so it is a decent attacker.
It does to 2 plants.
Yeah, but that gets you 2 other attackers through.
Well, I guess Epid doesn't want to think about combat math, so they're just going to pass.
Or if there wasn't a good attack last turn,
there's a fetch land.
And that should be the start of the end. Does Dr. Batman have a swamp? What's all your planes?
I don't think
Doesn't
so.
look like it.
Like Rainbow Art decks usually don't play off-color basics, right? They only play the shifting lands.
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe with 80 cards you can fit it in, but makes sense.
Actually, why is it? Does this deck play Sanjing? Because Sanjing is really good with shifting lands. Because like you can make your on-color mana on the front end, and then when Sanjing brings back the shifting land, you can crack it for an off-color land type.
Yeah, so it looks like Dr. Batman's just cleaning out the board here, which is, I think, ends up being fair. No reason to push for a fast win when you can just slowly chip away at the board.
Don't you die to 3 poison counters?
Yeah, but how are they getting 3 poison counters?
So Mind Fortress gives you 2, so you just have to find your last poison counter somehow.
Which is only finding another Mind Falters. So yeah, if it draws Mind Falters, well, that's step 1. Then that does get there.
I think Epid should have just attacked with Infected Ego more, because I'm pretty sure Dr. Batman would have been willing to go up to 8 poison counters.
Oh, holding the Mind Falters. I guess that's fair, because if you draw another one, then you can play both them. So maybe Dr. Batman plays a bit less aggressively, maybe. Yeah. I think definitely if you attack with Ego and your opponent's at, like, if you're at 7 poison counters and your opponent attacks the Ego, I feel like the correct play is generally to just give them the thing if you're playing, like, if you're being pretty aware about it.
But then that's pretty good, because you not get a free thing, right?
Yeah, that's true. You talked about, man, this isn't lethal, right? Yeah, not with the Swarming Mittens.
I think you can just start attacking with your plants now.
Well, they just get brickrolled by the 2 Mind Falters.
Right. You can attack with all your big guys now. Some of them are gonna get through.
Yeah, but you do have to worry about just dying, right? You got 13, 2 Swarming Mittens. Mind Falters doesn't die for you guys, so.
Right.
But 4/7's so huge. Why are the Revelations so huge? Why be the 5/6?
I know, right? Why are all the Revelations so pushed?
Let's be honest, if RP was balanced, it'd be like a 3/3. Mind Fault is fine as is, like, but ooh. They can even coalesce the Mind Falters too this turn with the treasure energies. So I guess we'll see if Dr. Batman falls for the wicked plan.
Alright. Come on, give us a poison kill, Epid. Actually, no, it's on Dr. Batman. Okay, Dr. Batman, give us a poison kill.
We deserve it.
Let's see a poison kill.
Are we gonna be aware that the Mind Falters kills them? Oh no!
Yeah.
They tried so hard and got so far.
We got it. Wait, Epid might be playing around Cosmic Sinkhole. They're gonna wait until next turn.
But in the end, Dr. Batman's mind might falter. Just like it did when
they're going for it. They're going for it.
Oh, oh no.
Oh. Dr. Batman lashes out in anger, trying to play the removal spell, but to no avail because poison cannot be killed by burn damage.
Can't cauterize the wound by
actually, I feel like Dr.
Batman
made a misplay by playing Void Flare there, because they could have represented Cosmic Sinkhole if they held the card in hand.
Maybe. I mean, I feel like if you're going for the first cast, you always go with the second. It feels like
GG second.
I guess Dr. Batman doesn't actually have any grave hate, so.
Yeah, I also agree with Epid. I need to use the restroom because it's been like 1.5 hours, right? Almost. Why did game 1 take so long? Why there's so many judge calls? Anyways, keep them in. Just talk about sideboarding choices while I do stuff, I guess.
So I don't think Dr. Batman has anything good to side in. They have a lot of. This was the good side in the Flames approach. Take it out of the 5 Weaver sideboard. Just because it's a decent kind of matchup. Otherwise, Relic Corrosion is not great. Soul Fairs, whatever. They have 3 of those, so it doesn't ruin it as a 5-weaver target. Forbidden Treasures. And maybe they sat in just to hate out the Mind Falters, because that is how they lost game 1, but I think in general you stop Vega in this matchup. On the other side, Epid has, I think, good matchup things that could side in. Numeral Wrong is just a decent card in general. Long Forgotten's really good if you need Grave Hate, also gives you some value. And I doubt that Dr. Batman will side in Enchantment Hate. Seal the Tomb maybe is worthwhile. More Grave Hate. Maybe Xanagan's okay, because Dr. Batman is not putting a ton of pressure, so maybe you can stick a Xanagan through Counter Magic and win that way. Strike When Shadow isn't a bad card either, but does take away from a lot of good cards that you are taking out to put in Strikes and Shadows, so whether that's worth it or not, I don't know. All of Epid's main deck does just seem good here, with Discard, of course, being generically good, and a lot of value that you kind of need to match up with what Dr. Batman's doing.
All right, I'm back. Did I miss anything?
We'll just talk about sideboard stuff.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go grab a glass of water now that you're back, so now you can entertain.
Okay, I'll just mute myself during this part. All right, we're back for round 2. The players have sideboarded. I don't know what Purple said about sideboarding, but I'm assuming the player sideboarded. So Epid draws their opening hand of 0 lands, so they have to throw this thing back. But they did bring in Zanagan. That's pretty cool. I guess because it's against control deck. Meanwhile, Dr. Batman gets a pretty decent opening hand, right? Turn 1, tap land. Turn 2, reveal Eternities, and then turn 3, recall. I mean, that's a pretty good curve. But they're going to mulligan that for some reason. Are they looking for more early answers? I mean, this hand's really good, though. So they bottom the reveal Eternities. I guess because they have Portal Factor turn 2. Meanwhile, Epid gets a hand with... this is... Well, they have Striking Shadows to try to hit something. Mistress with no enablers. Yeah, it's not a great hand, but maybe they get there. Maybe. They're kind of just missing spots from the curve, though. So Dr. Batman starts... I have to assume it's just tap land turn 1. Like, there's no 1-drop that from Epid's deck that needs to be void flared. Shifting Grove. Interesting. We're not going to play Mysterious Karak tapped. Do you care that much about untapped color mana? I guess Shifting Grove... Yeah, they need Shifting Grove to make an off-color dual land so that Syncratic Master has domain 4. But they don't make an off-color land off the Shifting Grove. I guess they're just happy with Syncratic Master for 3. So they play Mysterious Karak untapped, without keeping a Portal Factor. And Epid, meanwhile, they draw another land. I mean, turn 2, they're just going to run out Mistress. Dr. Batman probably counters it. Epid's hoping to slam the Infectious Eagle on 4, I think. Epid's actually thinking quite a bit about if they want to play out Mistress. I mean, there's no reason to keep obstructing the shadows, right? Like, Dr. Batman does not have any threatening creatures on 3. If Mistress comes out, is Dr. Batman going to counter it, even though there's no poison on the field right now? It seems like Dr. Batman just passes. Maybe they Void Clear instead? Seems like it. But they're going to keep the Portal Factor for Infectious Ego, which is a very wise choice, seeing as Epid does have an Ego in hand that's coming down turn 4.
Yeah, Portal Factor hitting Ego is definitely a big reason why.
Yeah, welcome back.
God is very good.
Okay, so we're going to get turn 3 Syncratic Master for 3. I was mentioning how they didn't make an off-color land with Shifting Grove, but I guess it's because they need to hold up red.
It does seem like it might have been worthwhile making off-color land, but...
I mean, they have all these fetches. They definitely could have gotten their colors just with the fetches and then made an off-color land with their shifting.
Yeah, but as you mentioned, getting the red land for Void Slayer is real nice.
Let's see what they flip. They grab another Syncratic Master. Not bad. And I guess they been Monkey Shine to the land, so yeah, Syncratic Master was probably the right choice there. Ooh, Bloodjade on 3. There we go. Epid's finally curving out now.
That was a top deck, right?
Yeah. Okay, that's some really good cards. You take all of them and pay 6 life. Actually, do you take the Mirrorgate? Like, you're not going to try to master your opponent with Mirrorgate, right? Because it's way too unreliable at doing that.
Yes, seems almost impossible. And Mirrorgate can't name the tokens, so not going to take your opponent off of 4th and 5th color lands.
Maybe you take it anyways just as a land, because you do want to go up to 6 mana.
Yeah, I mean, 20 life. And I am generally of the opinion that in like mono black, you should be paying like 6 life Bloodjade profit more often than not. So
like Epid's thinking about it.
But we saw in the last game just how mono black can absolutely use all that additional mana.
Yeah.
With that 20 middens and the Mind Falters and whatnot. Does decide not to take the Mirrorgate, maybe respecting Dr. Batman's damage potential.
I mean, that's...
No, the one awkward thing about taking the Syncretic Master is that you cannot play Syncretic Master and hold up Portal Fracture, but you can play Unraveled Fireweaver and hold up Portal Fracture.
Yeah, so, but then you're not playing the thing you grab off it.
Yeah, I mean, you just play next gen.
Yeah, but like now you have to proactively grab something instead of reactively grabbing something, and that's a lot worse with your burn spells that you're playing in your Fireweaver board.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that there's this Bloodjade profit, and either Fireweaver trades off with it if they attack, or you kill it with whatever you grab. So it works out either way.
So what do you grab with Fireweaver then?
I imagine you just grab the Flames Approach. Like if you really wanted to, you could grab Conquer Psyche. I guess.
Ooh, attacking first, no fear. That's actually an interesting decision. Do you trade or not? Because like burn does exist.
Yeah, Dr. Batman is playing really aggressively with these Syncretic Masters. I mean, it does kind of make sense just with, and they did see the second Blood Jade profit off the first one, so getting your opponent's life total down is definitely valuable.
If it takes.
Yeah, I don't think that's unreasonable either. Like 4-2 is a lot of damage.
Are you really going to win in a race against a deck with this much burn?
I mean, yeah, you like as far as Epid knows, this Infectious Ego is resolving, right?
Well, if Dr. Batman passes the turn with Portal Fracture up, or if Dr. Batman passes the turn with 2 mana up, plus something that they could have just cast off Fireweaver, I think that is kind of obvious.
Well, if they do want to disguise their intentions a little bit, they can grab Solar Flare, which is an instant, so a little bit less conspicuous.
Oh,
but...
I guess Dr. Batman is not a very sneaky person. Yeah, this is not very subtle. This is screaming loud and clear that I have Portal Fracture. Like, if Bounty was still an instant, maybe this would have been more justifiable, but like, this is really obviously Portal Fracture. I don't think Epid's going to run Infectious Ego into it.
Yeah, but what can they do, really? Like, are they going to play out Soulbreaker for no value? Are they going to...
They can't
Strike with Shadows? Are they going to Soul Weaver into Portal Fracture anyways? Like...
I think you want to like either Blood Jade or the Soul Weaver into it, because Infectious Ego is basically your best card, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, if you play a 3-drop into it, Portal Fracture like is a really, really scary card, right? So Dr. Batman gets the 2 tokens, and the Flames Approach hits the Blood Jade, and then you take 7 damage, greater than 6. And like now you got 6, you're getting on 4 creatures, and you have nothing. So if they have an Antrus and Infectious Ego, you're screwed. Even if they don't have an Infectious Ego, you know the Flames Approach will be in your yard.
Well, Epid is definitely playing around Portal Fracture.
Yeah. Admittedly, it's of course worse if you play Infectious Ego into it rather than Soul Weaver or Blood Jade, but
you just have to play into it because you don't have any better options.
Yeah, you're committing a lot if you don't. You like just play Soulbreaker or something. I mean, maybe it is just correct to go Soulbreaker and then Strike from Shadows on your opponent's turn. Maybe that is just safe, and you can just kind of leverage the card advantage from that first Blood Jade profit to get a win.
Yeah, because next turn you have another land drop, so you can now play 3 drops and pay for Portal Fracture.
And this is also much less scary if you think that your opponent's representing Sinkhole rather than Portal Fracture, because that's turning this 2-turn clock into a 3-turn clock.
Why would they not have Portal Fracture?
Well, I mean, they have Sinkhole.
Yeah, but like, you always assume the worst case scenario.
Well, I mean, you have to expect the worst case scenario, but you know they have a counter spell, and if it's 50-50 Sinkhole, Portal Fracture, you have to accept 50% of the time it will be Sinkhole, so you have to factor that into your calculations. If you only assume the worst case scenario, then you will lose every game, or you will think you'll be losing every game, right?
Yeah.
So you won't be able to push your advantage.
How much does Epid know about Dr. Batman's hand?
I believe nothing, actually.
Does Syncratic Master not reveal? Oh, it doesn't reveal. Okay.
No, it does not.
I was saying something along the lines of, if Epid knew that Dr. Batman had Syncratic Master in hand, then they could kind of deduce that it was not Cosmic Sinkhole.
I mean, Dr. Batman still has... I guess there's still 2 other cards besides the Syncratic Master. But yeah, this is very reminiscent of Runewaller. You Portal Fracture on 4 and then kill your opponent.
Too bad there's no turn 1 Panya.
Yeah, turn 1 Panya would be especially brutal here.
Or, you know...
And would just be lethal. But...
Or instant speed, Cane Dance Dribble, bounty tokens.
And now when less of Epid sudden in Violent Collapse, I guess, they seem pretty dead here. With the Syncratic Master coming down, probably Phone's Burn, and then you're probably just dead to burn with the Flames Potion Yard too. Maybe Dr. Batman's cards aren't updated.
Well, we'll find out when
Bounty is a sorcery.
We'll find out when Dr. Batman tries to play Bounty at instant speed. Maybe Dr. Batman's keeping the cards in hand against discard. Does that make any sense?
Well, no, because Syncratic Master gets your cards, so...
Maybe they're trying to bluff a counter spell?
Maybe, but I mean, you're so far ahead, your opponent can't... I can't imagine Epid can ever afford to play around counter magic.
Maybe Epid does anyways, because they're not that forward-looking.
Well, I mean, you have to take a line that doesn't leave you dead, right? And most lines will leave you dead when your opponent has lethal on board and a Flames Approach in yard.
But yeah, like going back to Epid's side, what's Epid going to do here?
I have to imagine Soul Weaver plus Strike from Shadows, and then kill a Scout, exile the Flames Approach.
Drain the opponent? Actually, yeah, you have to exile the Flames Approach to not lose horribly. Alright, there's Warwick Soul Weaver. Actually, maybe you can put the counter on Syncratic Master so that it now gets blocked by Soul Weaver.
Well, I think you just strike from shadows the Synchrony Master.
Right. You can do that too. Right. And I think Epid needs to do it now because otherwise Dr. Batman gets priority and gets a flashback to Flame's approach before Soul Weaver can exile it.
Okay, I just want to do an upkeep.
I guess it make your opponent waste counterspell mana.
Yeah, I mean this is doesn't matter. Yeah, I guess this makes sense.
Luckily for Epid, Dr. Batman does not have any other counterspells.
Yeah, technically speaking, this should probably be a judge call, but I mean, we know that it's never going to matter.
And also, I don't want to sit through another judge call.
Yeah, but Soul Weaver being Grave Hate is excellent heal here. I'm not sure if this quite punishes Batman not doing anything on the prior turn. Still think,
I don't think Epid realizes that the Flames approach is in yard, but they still did this thing during their opponent's upkeep. All right, I think.
Yeah, I'm not.
Is the game over?
It's not over. But though, I mean, I don't know what Epid could draw to get out of this.
More egos.
Well, ego doesn't even work because so the Flames approach will kill the Soul Weaver. Well, hold on. Epid hasn't gained the 1. Is that 7?
I'm not keeping track of life, so I don't know.
Okay. Looks like they're just resolving it.
Okay. Well, never mind then. Or does it matter? It's still only bringing up for 3, right?
I mean I think it's still better just Flames approach. That does mean that I think Epid has no outs here.
Violent Collapse?
I guess technically, Violent Collapse does have them live through the burning up and kills the Auros.
Yeah, it's a Flames approach. Epid probably feels real dumb for not exiling it. Actually, maybe gaining life. Gaining life prevents them from dying to a swing plus a burn spell, or a 3 damage burn spell. Maybe that's what they were trying to gain life to prevent.
I feel like they're just playing into a losing line. Like, even if they do die to just burn spell, but...
Okay, so Epid can't kill themselves with Bloodjade Prophet, so let's see if they go out with Honor.
Is that Honor?
Yeah. You don't let your opponent kill you, you kill yourself.
Is it honorable dying in glorious combat?
I thought it's like honorable to Sudoku yourself.
When
you know that you're losing. You have no way out.
Isn't that only when you've committed grave dishonor?
Yeah, the grave dishonor is the misplay that you've made. I don't know what misplay Epid made, but like surely there's actually the misplay is not exiling the Flames approach.
And Epid will leave it vague whether they pay for them or not. So now we're on to game 3.
Yay! It's like almost 2 hours now.
Pretty contested game 1 and game 2. Game 1 was definitely very close.
Yeah, I think Dr. Batman kind of threw game 1.
Did they? Because
you can just give.
I think the main
just give them lands.
Misplay.
They don't care about lands.
Oh right.
They already have enough mana.
Could have maybe played a bit better. I feel like it still would have gone into a bit of a board stall, but definitely could have tightened up the play a bit.
Definitely could have like not insta lost to poison.
Oh yeah, that's true. But
I mean, but on Epid side in game 1, if they attack that turn with their emissary and their poisonous guy, they could have like gotten Dr. Batman to enough poison counters where they could like do that poison kill without having to rely on Dr. Batman misplaying, right?
Well, but that also relies on Dr. Batman misplay, because if they just block the Soulbreaker, then I mean, I guess that's not as bad as attacking with Ego alone.
Not Ego. They were attacking with Profane Emissary.
Oh, not Ego, Emissary, yeah.
They like just attack for no reason, or let that thing die for no reason. All right, game 3.
And then so Epid will be on the play, which is pretty good advantage. Means that the Ego will not be portal fractured with tokens this time.
This is an amazing curve.
Yeah, very nice 1-2-3 curve. And Dr. Batman also has a 1-2-3 curve. So, battle the 1-2-3 curves.
Unfortunately, Dr. Batman has no creatures for Soulbreaker to kill turn 2.
Yeah, the horrors of being on the play with Soulbreaker.
Yeah, like if Epid was on the draw, they could have killed Elvish Wayfinder with the Soulbreaker.
Yeah, wouldn't need to do that turn 3 now.
But then
maybe even worth doing that over Bloodjade Prophet, because it does prevent the Wayfinder from attacking.
Then what are you doing turn 2?
Hoping to draw something, passing. I guess, yeah, just playing the Soulbreaker might make sense.
Just tempo out the Soulbreaker so you can start whacking your opponent for poison damage.
I mean, that is kind of bad if the Bloodjade gets counted, but yeah, I see your point.
Hey, Dr. Batman, let's see what they monkey shines into. They They're thinking about grabbing Syncratic Master. Alright, so they got Syncratic Master and Wayfarer Shrine on top. Which,
I feel like you're pretty happy with that.
yeah, look at the redundancy in their hand. They've gotten 3 Syncratic Masters so far. Yeah, well, I guess that's their turn to play.
So what does Epid name if they pay up here? Wayfinder?
Yeah, just
Syncratic Master?
throw them off curve.
What do you do if you talk to Batman? Do you just accept that?
Yeah, don't give
Probably not, right?
what? Don't give them mana. They could like turn 3 to Infectious Ego.
I guess that's fair. You don't have an answer to Ego, so Dr. Batman keeping the Syncratic Master on top does make it seem more likely for Master to be the name here. And I think if Master's named, you do just say okay, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you are advocating that you always say okay.
Okay, there we go. Obvious Wayfinder.
We'll see what Dr. Batman does here.
Not.
I feel like it's not that bad if you go a treasure here. Granted, that's with all info. I mean, it ends up working maybe a bit better than just saying okay.
Oh, well, Dr. Batman's really lucky that Epid does not have Infectious Ego in hand. But on the bright side, at least Soulbreaker's gonna hit something. Alright, let's see if this thing whiffs. No, it does not. Alright, what's the chances of that happening?
90%.
Okay. I'm gonna keep asking that every time this thing happens. Because it's whiffed once, so obviously it's gonna whiff again.
I presume you always just slam Bloodjade here.
Yeah.
If you don't draw an Ego.
I mean, if you have another 2-drop, maybe go Soulbreaker into the other 2-drop, but you didn't draw the 2-drop, so yeah, you're gonna slam Bloodjade here.
Yeah, if you do a Mistress there, maybe it's an interesting line to play Soulbreaker Mistress. I mean, Soulbreaker does prevent the Wayfinder from attacking, which is nice. Makes future discard spells a bit stronger because the opponent doesn't have as many cards in hand.
I mean, Bloodjade also prevents the Wayfinder from attacking.
It does?
Yeah, it trades with it.
I feel like you're pretty happy because you get the trigger and then you trade with a 4 too.
Wait, if it's going off curve to kill the Wayfinder.
I mean, I suppose at this point they have enough mana to pay for Portal Fracture or Sinkhole next turn, so don't need to worry about that.
Right.
But they're at least thinking about it.
Okay.
Just decide to go for it.
I mean, also, waiting to play Bloodjade Prophet means they get more information to decide which cards to take, right?
I mean, I feel like you always just take every card here, right?
Life total does.
You're very much so.
Life matters in this matchup.
Yeah, but so does like lands, and you know the opponent has 2 slow value cards in Soul Flare. I mean, they're not exactly threatening your life total when you're when you're up on board. Hell, like Dr. Batman's going to play a Syncratic Master here, and they're going to jump at the opportunity to trade for the Soulbreaker, right?
Yeah. So does that mean Epid has to not attack here with Soulbreaker? Because that feels really bad.
Well, I'm saying that makes it just very easy to use Bloodjade as a pay 6 draw 3.
Right. Unless you flip a bunch of lands, then you're really unhappy.
Yeah, I suppose if you do hit 3 lands, then maybe you don't. But
actually, next turn, maybe you can like animate Swarming Maiden instead and attack with it.
So Dr. Batman decides to take Burning Up.
Not a bad choice because that's a burn spell. Oh, Idravir, nice.
So they did decide to bin Kumu Lang, which is interesting.
Why is that interesting? I mean, it's not very good right now, right?
I mean, this is Syncratic Master in Yard. Seems like higher value than Burning Up, which seems important in this matchup.
I think they're just taking Burning Up in case Ego comes down because they can get an off-color with Shifting Grove, so they can actually kill Ego if it comes down.
I suppose that's fair.
And like Bloodjade...
Ego got seen off this Bloodjade, you can kill it before attacks.
Or no, you can't, because Shifting Grove takes a turn to turn into an off-color land. So you need to sack your Syncratic Master.
Well, sorry, Ego goes into hand, and then you play the Shifting Grove, and then Ego is played. You have to sack, and then you can attack the Shifting Grove. So you can kill it before it attacks.
Yeah. But meanwhile, wait. Okay, that's not... See? You don't always pay the 6 life.
I mean, you have 3 man lands. Like, I'd personally advocate for maybe getting 1 more swamp there. But yeah, 3 cards, 1 mana total is not really that great.
Now here you name Suburban Rune Brawler, right?
I imagine so.
You can also name Syncratic Master if you want to play the resource game.
Yeah, I don't think Master's a bad name either. But Rune Brawler is definitely a bit more threatening.
Rune Brawler, you don't even know if your opponent's ever going to get enough lands for it. Syncratic Master helps you find lands for Rune Brawler.
And they're on 4 lands, and you know that they only do 1 more because the Shifting Grove will give them a trigger.
Yeah, but then it's an upkeep trigger, so it's really slow. Okay, Dr. Batman agrees and decides to play a resource game with Syncratic Master.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think the only real option is discarding Burning Up there, I guess, which doesn't seem great. This is nice having an answer to Infectious Ego. But you also do want to be killing at least one of these creatures to have it a bit more time to hit your land drops and make use of your value.
Dr. Batman does not
Decides to just
trade.
take it.
Huh, interesting. Okay, we might get poison kill this game too. Well, that's a pretty good.
That seems like a good draw.
Yeah. Kill Bloodjade. Like, how's Epid gonna deal with this thing? But no, they're not gonna play it. They're just gonna throw off some burning ups.
That's kind of confusing because they don't actually have anything else to do.
Color flare. Wait, they don't have the right colors.
Yeah.
Huh.
Feels like it makes a lot more sense to me to just play solar flare instead of burning up there.
That still doesn't let you do anything else.
Yeah, but if you're going to kill the Bloodjade Prophet, solar flare seems lower value than the burning up.
Yeah, right. Because burning up can do more damage later. Yeah, I'm not sure what Dr. Batman's trying to go for with this play.
Also, I'd even question if the Bloodjade is even scarier than the Soulbreaker.
Well, I mean, Dr. Batman has to trade here, right?
Yeah, but like, if Epid draws another Soulbreaker way to kill the Syncretic Master, Dr. Batman's kind of in hot water.
Yeah, we can finally get another poison kill. Well, this is a poison-related card, I guess.
We'll probably die to this Goomerang next turn, but...
can Epid play... Can Epid activate Swarming Midden and play their 2-drop?
Yes, they can, if they use the treasure.
I think they should, because this is like a really good opportunity to attack with Swarming Midden.
Makes sense.
And you can't really guarantee that you'll find another use for a treasure anytime soon.
Yeah.
Seems like they're not going for it, though.
Oh, no,
they are. Good.
So I have to imagine you trade with Soulbreaker here. I can't imagine you ever just let Soulbreaker through.
Come on, poison kill. Dr. Batman, give us the poison kill.
Because if you do let the Soulbreaker through, you're like playing with fire. Well, I guess poison at this point.
Okay, yeah. The trade happens, and then Epid drops the Mistress, which will die to the removal spell, and the rat will die to Queen Mulan.
But I think the Mistress is probably dying to the Queen Mulan. Rat is just kind of sitting there awkwardly.
I mean, if Dr. Batman drops Queen Mulan next turn, Epid still gets attacked with Swarming Midden, so like that's more rats to attack with.
Yeah, that's true. Swarming Midden is a very good card. Especially with, I think Swarming Midden really like ties the...
What? I guess they're keeping a treasure for a double Swarming Midden attack next turn, or a double man-land attack.
They don't know that Dr. Batman has Kumulong in hand, right? Because they are playing around it pretty well. So I suppose this does play into Syncretic Master plus Solar Flare. I think Dr. Batman's perfectly happy doing that.
Just animate Idravir. Like, that thing attacks pretty well into that. Here you're going to Syncretic Master so you can grab your 5th land. That means you can't... means like you don't have 2 creatures to block the menace Swarming Midden.
Oh yeah, but saying that Swarming Midden kind of embolizes the mono-black midrange as a deck almost, just because it works just very nicely with the general game plan of being very annoying.
Yeah.
And also works very well with Bloodjade Prophet because you do find so many additional lands.
This seems like a really low value Queen Mulan.
Not even exiling the football. I suppose that's fair that you do get to free cast it if you get to God mode.
Oh yeah, right. Queen Mulan has text on it other than the ETB.
But it does seem a bit... I mean, I suppose if you draw land, you can go... if you need a red source specifically, you draw a red source, you can go Soul Flare Demigod, which it seems fine. And then you probably hit your 6 land then.
Ooh, 2 Mistress. I think at least one of them will survive then.
And Epid doesn't really have it. Like, Mono Black Midrange does not have much target removal, Strike from Shadows being the only unconditional one. So if you do just... Though I suppose at the moment Dr. Batman is not insulated from Soulbreaker, so...
I think here you just attack with Swarming Midden again because this is a really good opportunity to attack with it, and then you just drop a Mistress.
You not just drop 2 Mistresses?
But then, like, you miss out on a Swarming Midden attack.
Yeah, but if you don't play the second Mistress, you miss on a Mistress trigger.
Yeah, but like 2 Mistresses might kill you. Like 2 poison counters per turn. Maybe Dr. Batman can just do nothing for 5 turns and you die to yourself. What? Oh, right, Mindfall does exist.
I guess that makes it a bit higher value to just Demigod. Give me a line.
Why does Kumulong have so much text? Like the ETB already, that's already so much text, and then you also have like 2 extra abilities.
Is it? I mean, I think it just looks bigger because of how the frame works.
Yeah, but still.
Because like the Demigod mode is 1 line, right? The God mode is like 2.
Yeah.
The ETB is like 5 or 6. It's like it's a woody card, but it's not that woody. I mean, 8 lines is definitely pretty reasonable as far as woody cards go. And Wayfinder is 6, and that's a relatively simple card.
I think Dr. Batman is getting punished for not playing Syncretic Master last turn because they don't have the land that they need.
Well, they can Monkey Shines, or defend the land, play the land, Kumulong.
They're going to Syncretic Master first, which I guess they're trying to find red land so that they can Solar Flare.
I feel like they should have kept up Lush Oasis So they can monkey shines if they don't hit the red land here.
Yeah. Why did they not tap their off? Yeah, why did they not tap their off-color land? Well, they found their land, so I guess they can help Solar Flare now by paying 2 life.
They do also find a reveal eternities to win, so nice piece of value.
Yeah.
They just missed a land drop.
I guess they spent so much time focusing on what to grab with some crack method that they forgot to play their land drop.
Ooh, that's a real draw.
I mean, that's something I do all the time too, right? Remember that time when I lost when I was playing Rejuvenation because I forgot to play a land. I missed my land drop when I was mana screwed.
Nope. Meanwhile, Epid drew a Violent Collapse, and the game is over.
Is it over? Like, maybe Dr. Batman still finds a way to get back into the game.
It seems kind of over to me. Like, Dr. Batman needs to draw real good.
They have monkey shines to find something.
But, like, I mean, Epid can, regardless of whether Epid just plays 2 mistresses or animates Swarming Mid, and I think both lines are pretty death's bed for Dr. Batman.
Epid's definitely thinking about which one to take. I mean, animating Swarming Mid lets you play around board wipes a bit better.
Dr. Batman doesn't have any board wipes, right?
Don't they have Shard Range Rage?
That's from Fire Reaper.
Yeah, they can like get Shard Range Rage and then kill both mistresses.
I guess.
Like, clearly you should play around that single possibility, right? Or you can just animate
Looks like
Interview.
it's going to be a Swarming Mid, and I guess an Interview. Preserve the treasure.
Yeah.
It does only take 3 because the Mindfold is shrunk by the Violent Collapse.
And then there's Syncratic Master. Is that all 4 Syncratic Master in the one game?
Does it look like it? That is a pretty good draw. Can kind of build up a bit of board while holding up Solar Flare in case Swarming Mid wants to come in.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I guess Dr. Batman's just tilted right now.
I mean, it is kind of hard to deal with the 4/7. Definitely on the back foot, but could definitely maybe play that game for a little bit longer.
Well, maybe they're just tired because it's already 2 hours, as you can see from the Cockatrice timer.
Yeah.
So that kind of also applies to us because we're also tired because it's been 2 hours. Yeah.
Yep. So we're gonna end the recording here.
Yep. Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening.